Very good morning, folks. Just walking towards the court, a few steps away. Yes, this is week number 6, and in about a few minutes, the courtroom too should continue from where we stopped yesterday afternoon when the judge leadership dismissed the jurors to say thank you very much and we shall see you tomorrow. Right, so in the past 2 days, let me just give you an update of what's been going on. On Wednesday, the Crown prosecution had a clergy in the witness box. Reverend Eric Scotland was Crown prosecution witness on Wednesday, and he used to work. He was a trustee with Bishop Doye Agama's Apostolic Pastors Congress, APC. APC has nothing to do with the ruling or progressives Congress in Nigeria. APC is Apostolic Pastors Congress, which is an organization founded which Bishop Doye Agama is a director of. And Reverend Eric Scotland was in the witness box. He used to be a director with APC. Don't forget, like I said, APC is not the All Progressive Congress. APC is Apostolic Pastors Congress. Reverend Eric Scotland, who was in the witness box all of Wednesday, he used to work for APC. That's the Apostolic Pastors Congress. He used to be a secretary or a director before he resigned in 2015. He said that he had known Bishop Doye Agama since around 2009 or late 2008, but he said he was a director. He said Bishop Doye Agama was in financial problem around the time he knew him until around 2013, 2014, when his situation changed. According to Reverend Eric Scotland, when he knew the prosecutor asked him what was the financial situation of Bishop Doye Agama when you knew him, when you joined the ministry as a trustee, he said all he knew was that he was in some financial difficulty. He had debts of a couple of thousands, actually about 40,000 debt. And he said, but things changed for the bishop around 2013, 2015. And he said, there were money coming in, which he was not getting answers to. Reverend Eric Scotland was in the witness box. The Crown prosecutor was asking him what he could say about the finances of Bishop Doye Agama. And, they were trying to just build up momentum for the argument. And he said, look, Bishop was in financial difficulty to the tune of about £40,000, but things changed for him around 2015. Money donations were coming to the APC's account, which he was asking questions. He didn't get answers. So Reverend Eric Scotland eventually said he resigned as a trustee of APC. Again, let me reiterate, APC is not All Progressive Congress, the ruling party in Nigeria. APC is Apostolic Pastors Congress, which Bishop Doye Agama is a director, and Reverend Eric Scotland, who was in the witness box on Wednesday, he was a trustee. He was supposed to be the secretary. He was actually the secretary of the APC and also the Christian Way of Life, Seaworld Ministry. So he was a trustee. But he said when donations were coming in, and he was asking the bishop for answers, he could not really give him satisfactory answers, he had to leave APC in 2015, even though he joined in things were on with them from 2013, but he said he had to leave because questions he was asking about the donations, the bishop could not give him satisfactory answer. Meanwhile, the bishop was on video link on that same Wednesday. Remember, the bishop has a medical condition, so he's allowed to stay in Manchester and join the trial via video link. So Reverend Eric Scotland was great. He was cross-examined by the defense counsel for Diezani. But before the defense counsel come up, during his testimony, he said that there were also cash withdrawals that were happening, from the account of the Apostolic Pastors Congress, and then those cash withdrawals, though they were about 250, 500, he was not happy because he knew these sort of things should not be happening. Reverend Scotland is an accounting technician. The prosecutor asked him, "Are you a chartered accountant?" He said no, but he's a member of the Accounting Association of Accounting Technicians. So he said he joined the organization, he joined APC, Apostolic Pastors Congress, in order to help them to keep their accounts. And this was going on from 2008 when he joined the ministry until 2015 when he had to resign. But as mentioned earlier, he said things changed for the bishop around 2013. Before then, Bishop Diezani, he said he was in financial difficulty, owing about £40,000 in debt. And he came in, he put in his best, and also he mentioned that the bishop he set up the APC so as to help ethnic pastors of African Caribbean origin, to give them visibility, and that the bishop did a lot of work. He did a lot of traveling to Jerusalem, to Italy, and he did many work for the Lord. But that things he had to step out of the ministry, he had to step out of the organization when money was coming in. The APC acquired properties, and he wasn't getting answers. He wasn't getting satisfactory answers as to where the money was coming in. So that was where he left it up before he finished his testimony on Wednesday. Yesterday, the case progressed and count 8 came in. Olatimbo Anyede was the one who was focused on, and we had details. Before we closed yesterday, the prosecution was playing a tape of a recording, over 1 hour conversation, the type that Diezani had with Kolawole Aloko when they recorded themselves. For some bizarre reason as well, just like Diezani recorded that conversation she had with Kola Aloko in 2014, in May of 2014, that very famous tape or 2-minute tape that has gone around where she said, "I'm going to escort you to jail," and all that. The same way, this conversation between Olatimbo Anyede and Jumabi Kachiku. Jumabi Kachiku is the younger brother of the former Minister of State for Petroleum, Emmanuel Kachiku. She recorded their conversation as well, So this conversation was retrieved from one of her devices when the police searched her property. In that conversation, the younger brother of a former Minister of Petroleum, Jumabi, was telling Olatimbo Anyede that, look, he was the one in charge of headhunting for the NNPC. They were discussing. That conversation was over an hour. We didn't get to finish it yesterday. It's going to continue. It will have continued now because this morning the court is resuming at 9:30. Just 6 minutes, I'll be rushing inside now. So I'll probably be able to give you more details. But that conversation which Olatimbo recorded between herself and Jumebi Kachiku, the younger brother of the then Minister of Petroleum, was played in court, and we have not finished it. The prosecution will continue playing the remaining part of that audio tape this morning. So if probably after lunch, I'll be able to give you some more update. Today, the court begins at 9:30. We've started now. I'll be rushing inside now. And court closes 12:30 on Friday. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you.